Darla Burns of Iowa has ALS, which leaves her paralyzed. In fact, she can't even speak. And, you know, she hasn't let this illness take full control of her life. She actually just recently wrote a book where she talks about her experience, and she wrote the book herself, which is so incredible because, as I mentioned, she's paralyzed. So how is she doing it? Apparently there's technology where she can just look at a keyboard, and as she looks at the specific keys, it writes out text for her.
Yeah.
So I think that that's incredible, and it just shows you the advancement in technology and science, and it really gives people the opportunity to do things even when they don't have full control of their bodies.
Yeah, they point out that this is a similar system to what Stephen Hawking has been using for a while. I don't know if it's the same system or if it's more advanced in some fashion, but it's pretty amazing. I mean, just the fact specifically that she's writing a book and that she got it done in just a couple of months, despite the fact that she's literally looking at each letter or some common combinations of letters in a couple months. I couldn't get a book done in a couple months, and I'm able to type really fast actually at this point.
Preach.
I know. Yeah,
I know
you know what I'm talking
that.
about. But yeah, like, and it just, I think it makes the excuses that people make for themselves seem so ridiculous. That
Definitely.
Like, I want to write a book, but I don't have a lot of time. I'm kind of rushed for time. I have to work a lot. Like, she can't even move her body, and she's writing a book. And there's always somebody worse off than you. And I think it's so inspiring that someone like that can get something done. And look, if you have an easier situation, you should get at least as much done.
Are you being passive aggressive right now? Is that what's happening?
I don't mean to be, but perhaps I am in effect.
Yes. I've been trying to write a book.
No. I also
like
am halfway through a book, by the way.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, and I don't have ALS, but I haven't gotten it done. And it took me months to get as much done as I did. No.
Yeah.
It's more self-centered than passive aggressive, don't worry. But also, I have at least one other point I want to make. I think every story like this, where there's this like mind-blowing technology that can do something that I can't even imagine how they do it, it just reminds me that we're at this weird point in our history where we have amazing technological innovation and progress in certain areas, and yet in other areas of society, we are stagnating or moving backwards. Like, we can have somebody who can't move their body write a book just by looking at letters on the one hand, and yet gay people are still fighting state by state to get the right to marry. Like, what society are we in where we can achieve such feats of technology, and yet we treat people like animals?